So welcome back to the People Who Live Here podcast. I'm here with Joe. He's the executive director of EPAC in Endicott. And we're just going to have a conversation, talk and see where things go. So Joe, first question obviously is, where are you from?
Hi, I am from Endicott.
Okay. So went to Endicott High School and everything?
Yep, born and raised.
Okay.
Yep.
What side of town?
North side.
North side.
Yep.
Okay. So like kind of near Little Italy and stuff like that?
Exactly.
Okay. That's a good area.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Council shut down recently.
It's now Concordia.
Have you been there?
Yes.
How is it?
Wonderful.
Yeah, because I loved Council's. Their margarita pizza was like fantastic.
Same pizza.
It's the same pizza?
Same pizza.
Okay. So is it like under new ownership or
Yes.
is it?
Yep, new ownership. The Concordia was actually a restaurant like 2 blocks over or something.
Mhm.
Slipped right into Consoles because that's the spot. Everyone knows Consoles. Everyone knows the pizza. So I think they were like, let's just take advantage of this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was basically the same Italian cuisine. There you go.
Yeah, because Council's was like one of my favorite. Obviously like my favorite place to
Okay.
get Italian is Michelangelo's.
Okay.
Love Michelangelo. Their manicotti is the best manicotti in the area.
Yeah. We're spoiled, I think, in the greater Binghamton area, I think, with Italian food. So I totally agree.
I think we're spoiled in general with food here.
Yeah.
We have a lot of really good like local eat spots.
Yes.
And I think that's a privilege that a lot of people take for granted here.
Probably. I mean, in Endicott specifically, they do kind of change, maybe too often. Like you said, I'm sure a lot of people in Binghamton don't know what's going on with Councils. But yeah, Little Italy is still up and coming. They got Joey's. They got another place that went into what was Antonio's. So it is always sort of changing, but similar. Plenty of Italian cuisine. A new Mexican place just opened right there.
Yeah.
El Coco.
There's a Polish spot opening too.
Really?
Yeah, it's a Polish bistro.
That's great.
They're hiring waiters, so
yeah, and there is Thai food down here. So yeah, it's and sushi. And then they actually just opened up a hibachi down at the other end of Washington.
Yep, I saw that.
So, and that place is amazing. I've been there. So yeah, I know people don't really maybe even realize how much diverse food options we have, and it's all really good.
Yeah.
Good food, honest to God.
We're a diverse community in general. Like we're very diverse. And like I feel lucky having grown up here because I was exposed to all those different cultures.
Yeah.
I feel like in other places you don't really get that experience.
Probably not. I mean, yeah, for a small town, I mean, to even have what they're trying to brand as Little Italy is cool. Because growing up here with the Italian connection specifically, I mean, for myself, I'm so glad that they're trying to do that. It should be a tourist spot. It should be an I Love New York spot. It should, you know what I mean? I hope it gets there. They got the carousel there, the park. It's close. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some really interesting stuff happening here.
Yeah.
So how'd you get involved with EPAC?
My father, basically, he's still the artistic director here. He's one of the founding fathers, if you will, of EPAC. We've been here now over 25 years. So in 1998, a group of friends, really volunteers, they called them the Dirty Dozen. They came in here and just started ripping out old stuff and refurbishing. It was really a grassroots effort. They put my father, Pat Foti, and his friend and business partner, Lulu Gori, in charge. And they turned EPAC into what it is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I came in basically in 2015 as the business manager. Lou retired, and now I'm the executive director, and just kind of continuing the same sort of mission.
Did you go to school for the arts?
Yeah, I did. I went to school in New York. Went to UE, graduated, went right to New York City. Did the college thing. Went to City College in Harlem. Worked, played. Tried to perform. Came back home. Started a family. And I'm lucky enough to be able to work in the arts. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine it's a great job.
Yeah.
Especially like as somebody who loves the arts,
Yeah.
I'm a photographer, and I would love to like just do photography, but it's such like a hard art form to break into.
Yeah.
Because everybody's a photographer nowadays. Like everybody has a phone in their pocket.
Yeah.
So,
Everyone has a camera. That's right.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to like break into that.
It is. And the cameras do so much too. I mean, I'm also a physical artist. I perform, do the musical theater. That's what EPAC's all about, performing arts.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm also a painter. But my main art, I guess, personally, I would probably say is a writer. Do I write?
Okay.
No. I wish I was. Like you said, I was like, oh, I wish I was a writer, writing a
Yeah.
novel or something like that. But yeah, how do you pay the bills doing that? I don't know.
So are you a big reader too?
Yeah, I mean, I try to, like I don't read a lot of novels or have time to do that, but
Yeah.
like I do have writing involved with my job here. I'll be honest, I write a lot of grants.
Mhm.
It's a big part of being a nonprofit arts organization. It's a lot of community support, local foundation support, local the Broome County Arts Council, the New York State Council of the Arts, like huge, supporting in terms of just being able to run the program here at EPAC.
How do the grants work? How can people apply for the
Mhm.
grants, and what does the eligibility look like?
Yeah, the eligibility is almost anyone in the sense of when you're talking about the arts, if you're an artist, do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So like you're talking about if you're a photographer, if I'm a writer, if I'm literally writing a play or whatever, you can write a grant to help you do that financially. It might only be a couple $100. It might be 500, might be 1,000. I don't, you know what I mean? It could be, but they are out there. Like I said, it's basically seeking it out on an individual level. I do tell people that just as artists come through here, we have groups, theater groups, individual artists who, like I said, maybe not writing a play, but maybe they want to produce a play. Maybe they want to direct a play. There are ways of getting funding for individual artists because they are an independent contractor. You're not employed by anyone. You're trying to, make art. And the Broome County Arts Council is a huge, obviously, supporter of local arts, and they have individual grants, like up to $1,000. So an individual can apply for a grant for themselves to create their art. It's awesome. And then we're basically a venue. So you may want to produce your art. It may end up at our venue. If it's performing arts, maybe you're a musician, singer, dancer, musician. But like physical arts, they have other venues like galleries. You know what I mean? You might have uh, photographs or actual paintings that you want to display. Again, you would have to pay possibly to actually be in a gallery or a venue. So it is pretty extensive, but the grants are out there. I mean, in terms of EPAC itself, like I said, we're a nonprofit arts organization. So that's kind of a whole other pool of grant funding. But so EPAC itself is eligible for, grants from New York State Arts Council, which is a very large pool of money, obviously, that a lot of different theaters from all over the state are trying to acquire. Just like EPAC, smaller than EPAC, bigger than EPAC. Obviously, we have, like the Forum in Binghamton, they have the Broadway tours that come through. Syracuse, Rochester, all those different places, they all have, regional professional theaters. They also need a lot of grant funding and a lot of times to maintain their programming. So it is difficult. It's highly competitive. There's not always grants. It's like I'm writing grants to basically convince these places to give us funding. Yes, we are a very busy, community arts organization that deserves the funding because of our our diversity, what our program does, how busy we are in terms of just offering classes all year long. It's not just a show here, a show there. It's like we're offering classes all the time, educational programs for kids, people who maybe can't afford it as much. Our whole mission is really about affordability too. So that helps with grant funding. It allows us to keep our tickets low, keep our tuitions low, affordable, so that we can have more people participate. So yeah, that's a whole big part of it, the grants. And,
Yeah. And speaking of diversity,
yeah,
EPAC is like the shows you guys put on are very diverse. Like you guys have a whole cast of people.
Mhm.
And it's like it seems like diversity in your guys' shows, especially like with burlesque. I had went to the burlesque show
Yeah.
in December and I loved it. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
And like I'm gonna go to every burlesque show you guys put on.
Great.
And it seems like you guys really embrace diversity in
Yes,
your
absolutely.
shows.
Absolutely. The whole program is, always been as inclusive as possible. In terms of it's a community theater based organization. So it's like community theater is inclusive. It's just the nature of it. You know what I mean? It's like you need as many different people in your programs as possible to represent what you're, producing. Again, it's like every show is different. I mean, right now, obviously, I could talk about, what we're doing this year for EPAC. So it's like obviously like a classic musical like Grease, obviously. You know what I mean? Is like um everybody knows it, but there's going to be ones like Drowsy Chaperone and Anastasia people don't know as much. So yeah, it's like every show needs something different, someone different. You know how it is in our area. A lot of times you you do struggle actually getting the diversity that you're looking for. But as time goes on, and just recently, you can see the pool of people, the demographics are changing. There just is more diversity to engage with. You know what I mean? So Endicott definitely sees it, and the people who are performing, the kids that are in our workshops, yeah, it's definitely a diverse group. And it's getting more diverse right now, which is just exactly kind of what we've been looking for all these years. In terms of talking about race specifically, but we're not talking about race. We're talking about all sorts of different stuff now. Obviously, gender, um, and even just age. That's the type of diversity we're talking about here, not just race, literally everything. Because it's like I want people who are retired and getting older to still come back and perform. We have room for them as well. It's like we used to have a program called the Lyric Performers just for retired and senior people. You know what I mean? It became a super inclusive group where it was like anybody can join it. We're not going to have younger people not join it either. So it's like, yeah, we're not just talking about race. Burlesque is not even just talking about gender. They cross the barrier of, that drag show aspect, and then just a super inclusive, non-discriminatory cast of just like anyone and everyone that you can get in there. It's like they represent everyone. It's a special thing. I think people recognize it. And then even for people with disabilities and special needs, we have another program we just started called the Victory Troop. Because our programs are so inclusive, we're getting people with special needs. And of course, when you're doing theater, it's performing arts. It's like you're speaking in front of an audience. It's literally the number one fear in the world. So not anyone or everyone is just coming out to be in a musical. It's a very pretty, limited, specific group of people that want to get up on that stage and sing and dance in front of other people. You know what I mean? It's not easy. So for the special needs community, it's the very specific niche. You know what I mean? It's like, and we've always included them and always had them be a part of our shows. We've had, find ways to get, a wheelchair on stage if we need to, whatever it is, whether it's physical, mental, doesn't matter. We find ways. We want to be as accepting as possible and basically just, accommodating as possible. Just accommodate everybody's needs, everybody's, specific, abilities is really a better way of putting it.
Do you think theater has an obligation to be inclusive?
Yes, absolutely. Like I said, it's in its nature. It's part of what it is. A lot of times we do have a whole educational program, so we focus on the aspects of theater, breaking it down to what theater is. We're not just doing it or producing it for entertainment value, but we are doing that as well. But the educational aspect of it does make you focus on what it is. And the root of theater, right? It's representative. It's an art form that's representing life, just like all art. Whether it's a photograph, you're literally photographing life. Or, no matter what aspect of it, still life, a vase of flowers, an action scene, a landscape, whatever it is. All art has that same basis of it's rooted in representing humanity and life and what we're doing here on this planet. So in that sense, yeah, in its nature, it needs to be diverse and inclusive of all people, no matter what.
When you say like that, I think of, do you know Robert Mapplethorpe, the photographer?
Mm-mm.
He's a gay photographer, and he was openly gay back in the 70s and
Okay.
80s. And he did a series of photos called X. And basically what it was he photographed like gay sex acts.
Wow.
And I love it because it's not like, when he did that, it wasn't kind of like, here's what like this is like. It's more of like, fuck you. This is my world. Like, I dare you to step into it.
Uh-huh.
And I love that kind of like transgressive nature in those photographs. And like, I would love to see, like, do you know of any plays that are like that are
Oh
very
yeah.
much like transgressive?
Oh yeah, and that we basically wouldn't be able to do because of the backlash. You know what I mean?
Yeah, small community.
Yeah, and art definitely right pushes that envelope. You want to do edgy art, you want to do controversial art, but it's difficult to do it. I think we have the luxury of doing some controversial stuff here. We can definitely do a play that's controversial and sort of edgy and maybe even a little underground or however you want to kind of look at it. But the mainstream musicals, yeah, no, we would have a hard time doing something like, what is it? Calcutta, I think it might be it's a musical where they're just like all nude. And it's like,
Yeah, you're not gonna get away with that.
can't get away with it. Can't get away with it. And it's one of those things where it's like, well, what's the purpose? Well, back in its original form, it did have that purpose of not just that shock value, but of sort of pushing the envelope and, what are our rights? And this is art and, we're expressing ourselves and stuff. So yeah, we do try to maintain that. It's 2026 now. A little harder to maybe be shocking and edgy like that. You know what I mean? It's like that's sort of like our burlesque program. It's got that sort of edge to it, that shock, but it's really still rooted in tradition, comedy. You know what I mean? And going back to sort of to the roots of theater, vaudeville.
So are you trying to push the envelope? Like, when it comes to like, do you have a dream show that you would love to put on,
Yeah.
but you can't because it's just too much
Probably.
for the
I mean,
audience?
honestly, I don't think we even think about that type of stuff or talk about it because it's not part of the program or the plan. In terms of the organization itself, that's more of like a personal artistic type of thing. Like I was saying before, if you're an individual artist, maybe you're a director or an actor and you're like, oh my God, I want to do this show. Yeah, there are some. I mean, I know there's one called Hedwig and the Angry Inch. It's a pretty edgy show. It's not the easiest show to produce locally. I think it's something we would love to do here. Deals with transvestite, the Angry Inch. It deals with a lot of type of relevant stuff, and it's an older show now at this point. Again, it's like this stuff that they came out with in the 70s and 80s and stuff. It could get pretty edgy especially for musicals and live performance. It's not typically mainstream like movies and music. Not everybody knows, what the new Broadway musical is right now, the new edgy musical and what they're doing. And so there is that sort of aspect of it, of we do have that as part of the repertoire. Rocky Horror Picture Show or stuff like that. It's pretty ballsy, not everyone loves it. I mean, we get a little bit of backlash even from the burlesque show, I'll be honest, with like, some extremists, if you will. Can be pretty annoying.
Do you know who Herschel Gordon Lewis is?
No.
He's a movie director back in the 60s and 70s.
Okay.
And he was like splatter films where there's like lots of blood and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
He's the godfather, right? So I was thinking that, like, personally what you could do is you could put on the vagina monologues, and what Herschel Gordon Lewis would do is he would set up protests of his own films. and a bunch of people would come and protest his own films,
Yeah.
and
Right.
everybody would be like, well, now I got to see it because
That's
I got to
brilliant.
see,
Yeah.
so you could
It
do
is
something
fun.
like that.
We did the vagina monologues just a couple of years ago. And no, again, it's like that is a pretty accepted play and art
Yeah.
form. You know what I mean? So
I
it's
still
like,
haven't seen it.
okay, I
I
mean,
feel like I got to see it at
it's
some point.
yeah. And again, when it came out, I'm sure it was shocking. It's like women shouldn't be talking like this about these things.
Mm.
But now, it's 2025, 2026, whatever. It's like, it's not as easy to shock people. Or, you know what I mean? People have seen it all, heard it all, whatever. But the vagina monologues, if you've never seen it, yeah, check it out. You'll still get that, whoa, I can't believe she just said that, that
Yeah.
feeling. So, but yeah, that's, I love that thought of sort of setting up your own bad publicity. No publicity is bad, right? It's just like you're marketing your own controversial show. Oh, there were protests outside of EPAC today. That's funny.
I think that's great. I
Yeah.
think like if you want like to bring attention to something, that's like the best way to do it.
Right.
And like you
Knowing,
could even have your own actors stand up and
right.
protest. Like
Right.
you don't even.
We have some signs, some prop signs.
Yeah.
Go out
You guys
there.
are all. You could just do it.
Terrible. It's part of the show. So yeah.
Yeah. I grew up here. I ended up leaving for a while. I've lived in 5 different states and I lived overseas for 3 years, and I still chose to come back
Nice.
because I love this area.
Yeah.
I love the people that live here, and I love this community. And it makes me so mad when like college students are like, this area is awful. There's nothing to do here. And it's like, yeah, but all you do is go to the rat,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and I love this area
Yeah.
and I love this community.
Me too. That's great. I mean, I'm glad you came to talk. I don't know, who else you'll have on here. It's called, what is it?
The people who live here.
Yeah. So, there's the greater Binghamton area, definitely, Vestal, Johnson City, Endicott. But yeah, Binghamton is way better than it was.
Mm.
You know what I mean? BU downtown. Binghamton itself is just like a great place. I mean, um, I think if a lot of the students would stick around after they graduate, it'd be even better. It'd be an even better place. So it's always growing. I think it still has a lot of growth, the whole area. I like what I'm seeing in downtown Binghamton for sure. We do as much as we can out there, try to get, some of our kids programs and stuff out into the community, over at the arena, the Rumble Pody Stadium, Austin Angle Park, stuff like that, if we can. But yeah, so, and as far as what, the avenue here on Washington Avenue here in Endicott, it is in a major transition right now. So I would suggest anybody to come and check it out. There's always something new, some new food or some new store. There's a new oddities place over here that was an antique store.
Yeah, it was called Finders Keepers.
Yeah, and now it's this oddity store that people really like. They just obviously have some different odd stuff in there. And another one over here, actually, it's a little more like retro, antiques, not old stuff, but maybe 80s and 90s stuff. So that's cool too.
They just remodeled this whole street too.
Yeah.
Like this is all like brand new. All the sidewalks are brand new. Like everything's, this is Washington Ave, in case we're at the EPAC Center at Washington Ave.
Yep.
And yeah, it's all new and it looks great.
It does.
Yep.
And it's still just kind of up and coming. There's still too many empty storefronts, but it's getting there. You're still seeing them, paint and just get stuff in there. They got to gut them sometimes, and then it takes them a while to actually get something new in there. Like that Subway right there would be a big one. Like I need.
Yeah, right on the corner. High school students could walk right to it.
We always had it. Subway was a staple. So to not have Subway and just waiting for something to go in there is kind of like, Jersey Mike's, Quiznos, what are you doing? Like it should be a Subway, but if not, there's plenty of other, sub shacks that should be in there. But so it is happening. We were part of the whole revitalization. We got the video marquee. If you saw it when you came in.
I did. It looks great.
It's amazing. I mean, obviously, so that was part of the state funding, the Downtown Revitalization Initiative. So that was a big, thing. Our marquee was old and falling apart. So to get that was so huge, and it was a big, basically completely out of place because we were the first thing before they redid the whole street. So we have this new marquee. We're like, hey, check us out. Everything else is just completely like destroyed. Then they just, they redid it. Now it all matches. We're basically just waiting, and watching this little mini resurgence that we're having right now.
And that's actually how my girlfriend found out about you guys.
Okay, cool.
There's a cafe that was right across the street called All Aboard.
Oh yeah.
Are they still open?
No, but it's literally just, I bet. It looked cool. And again, it was like high school kids should go in there, but it's all timing. It's like, that's why I still call it the transition, because it's like, if we could just get a couple other places, like I said, a sandwich shack, something, would help, something like that. I just saw they redid the whole thing. It's painted now outside, and the inside is all empty, ready for something to go in there.
Yeah. And I know like opening a cafe is really difficult because like, so my dad owned a coffee shop in the mall.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember Hometown Coffee House. It was right in Center Court.
Okay.
It was a coffee shop and he owned it, and it was like wildly successful. He profited in the first year, which is unheard of for most businesses. Like most businesses, they don't make a profit till 2-3 years.
Sure.
And he broke profit in the first year. And I learned a lot about working in coffee from that. Like most of the jobs I've ever had has been in coffee.
Interesting.
And I learned a lot about coffee from it. And I learned a lot about how I run a business. And the problem I see with most coffee shops, like specifically here in Binghamton, is the hours. The hours are like a Cup of Joe. They have good hours. They've got good coffee too. Check out Cup of Joe.
The one in Endicott here?
Yeah, the one out in Endicott. They got some good coffee.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
It's a good location too. Like it's a pretty big spot, like lots of seating.
Yeah, I love it.
Cup of Joe is great. They have good hours. I think their hours are like 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. But most of these coffee shops that are opening, their hours are like 7 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Yeah.
And it's like, but if I'm a student, which I am a student, I'm a student. If I want to go get out of the house and study somewhere, my options are batch, Starbucks, or Cup of Joe.
Yeah.
Because your coffee shop isn't open after 2 p.m.
Right.
So like that's the major issue I see. And that was the issue with All Aboard, because I went in there and I asked her if she needed help, because I was like, I've been making lattes my whole life. So I asked her, I was like, do you need any help? Like you can hire me at minimum. I'll do like 4 hours a week. And she said that she just didn't have the money and she didn't have the hours to give people, which is a shame because I love sitting in coffee shops.
Yeah.
But
we could use one right there. I mean, the All Aboard spot is also great. Any of these corners is great. I mean, I know there's one down at the end, but it's more like a juice smoothie thing or something. I don't know, and obviously Dunkin' down by the high school, it's not on the app. It's just a weird spot. It's like, that's not, it's like a drive-through. I don't know. But as you know, it's like even with Dunkin' there's still room for another coffee shop over here. This was a coffee shop. I mean, we call it the EPAC Cafe. They tried to make it, it was called the Corner Cafe, I think. It was a business, a coffee shop before I was here. So over 10, 15 years ago. But yeah, it just didn't work out. I don't know. But yeah, I would like to see another one, a nice one,
And I try not to go to Starbucks or Dunkin'.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I try to.
Especially if you have an option. Paula's in West Endicott.
Paula's, I heard, is great.
And everyone loves it. She seems to be doing well. It's like, it's a good location. There's probably really no other coffee over there. So she's got her whole neighborhood. But yeah, it's like if Dunkin' is doing too much business, somebody needs to, share that with them.
I am a big fan of Batch.
Yeah.
I worked there for about 6 months.
Yeah, I love it too.
That's why I'm not a fan of them.
But there's two of them?
There's three. There's one in the mall.
Oh, okay.
There's one in the mall. There's one out over by Shenango on Upper Front. Street. And then there's one out in Endwell, right next to the I think it's the Union Diner.
Oh, yeah. That one's the new one, right?
Yeah, that's the one I worked at.
Okay.
And like, I loved working for them. That company, the management is fantastic. Coworkers are all awesome. Like, they're very supportive there. They're great. and their coffee. I'm a big fan of their light roasts. Their light roast coffee, oh man,
Why are they there and not over here?
that's what I'm saying. Is like, I don't know. I heard they're opening a new location soon.
There's like 50 spots on the Ave that they could open.
I still talk to
They
the
would
manager.
kill it because it's, again, you get the UE lunch, but that's not where you're going to, you know what I mean? It's like BAE is down there now. You see these guys come out for lunch, and it's like you said, before work, lunch, after work, school, before, lunch, after. It's like they're all different times. So they got to be open all day. But yeah, we have events. And like I said, our educational programming, it's like, yeah, kids used to go over to Subway all the time. And now we go to Domino's. It's like Domino's, you know?
So but you work with kids too, right? You said?
Yeah.
How does like go into that a little bit? How does that work?
Sure. Our kids workshop is huge. It's the EPAC Kids Theater Workshop. We do like 2 or 3 big shows per year. Right now they're doing Grease. So there's about 60 kids involved, 2 casts, a younger cast and an older cast. And they're going to produce the full musical March 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th to packed houses, you know, family and friends, but also just open to the public. So, and you know, it's like I said, full production. So costume, lights, it's the full deal. And these kids are amazing. Um, it's some of the best talent, and the program's been going on now for so long, over 25 years. My dad is the founding director of it. They call him basically, you know, the founding father of children's theater in the Southern Tier or whatever. It's like his proclamation. But there's been so many kids going through that program for that many years. It's like you can, again, going just back to small town, you talk to so many people who've been like, oh yeah, I did a show 15 years ago. Oh, I did 1 or 2 shows, or oh, I did 5 shows when I was 10. And then sometimes the kids, like the director of the music program over at Vestal is from our program, you know, over at me, I believe. So it's like they literally go off, get the higher education, come back. They're music teachers at local high schools or whatever. So, and like I said, even going back to BU, a lot of them, you know, will come over here in an instructional, you know, sort of way, if they're trying to get, you know, their teaching certificate or coming back to be a professor or whatever. So, um, so yeah, it's an extensive program that reaches a lot of different things in terms of the community, different schools. Every elementary school around here has some kid who's in our program, middle school, um, and and yeah, and then you know their parents or family members will come and do one of our other programs or whatever. So it feeds a lot of our other programs, and it kind of connects us to the community and the schools in a lot of different ways. Um, but yeah, the EPAC Kids Theater Workshop, they do a show in the summer every year too, and then we give a show specifically to the teens as well, so that they can do something that might be like we were talking about, maybe a little more edgy or a little more, you know, mature. So it's not just always Disney shows or whatever for the kids, but so for the teenagers, you know, they might be able to do something like Dear Evan Hansen or you know, something that deals with a little more, you know, content.
Yeah, and I don't think people realize like how much of a privilege it is to have something like that in this area, especially
That's
for
true.
teens.
Mhm.
Because it's like when you're a teenager, like what's your only option to do theaters in school?
Right.
You know, and like to have something where you can uh, do that outside of school and have the opportunity to be looked at and have the opportunity to display your skill set.
Mhm.
You know, I think that's so important.
Yeah.
You know, I think people take that for granted.
Oh, sure. Yeah, and they don't know. A lot of times it's like, you know, we're talking about Binghamton. It's amazing how many people in Binghamton don't know about EPAC. You know, so it's like the people in Endicott know about EPAC, but there's still many people to reach in Binghamton that just might not know that we're here for whatever reason. It's you know, maybe a lack of advertising, you know what I mean? It's like the internet doesn't reach everybody. It's like word of mouth is still a huge source of communication around here, especially just in small town.
Yeah, I knew about EPAC from I went to Endicott High School
Okay.
for 3 years, and then I ended up moving. But yeah, I used to walk by you guys all the time, and I had friends that were involved in EPAC
Hmm.
when they were teenagers.
Hmm.
And as far as I know, they did it for a period of time after high school had ended. I don't know if they're
Sure.
involved in it anymore,
Sure, but they
but
could be, might be.
yeah, like
Yeah,
they were
as an
still
adult.
involved in theater as an adult,
Sure. Yep.
and they might not have otherwise had the opportunity to do that because, a lot of places, unless you're in like a bigger city, you know,
Yeah.
and like Binghamton isn't like a small city. We're about 100,000 people in the greater Binghamton area.
Yeah, it's a good size and it has a lot of arts, a
Yes.
lot. It's great. I talk about how saturated the Southern Tier is with just, again, we specialize in performing arts, but it is more than that. I mean, I see it through the Broome County Arts Council specifically in terms of they deal a lot with the physical arts, photography, painting, sculpture. And there are a lot of galleries around here. People, how would you know about it? Again, in Binghamton about, the Roberson Museum or some of the mansions that might have, gallery space and stuff like that. But you don't know about all these other random places that are galleries because they don't advertise. How would you know?
Well, like First Friday has kind of taken off a little
Okay.
bit,
Yeah.
which is I love to see it. Like,
Hmm.
you know, I love to see people embracing the arts like that.
Yep.
I actually got featured in a gallery on First Friday a
Nice.
while ago, about 2 years ago.
Nice.
Some of my Polaroid work got featured.
Cool.
Um, but I think it's the Co-op gallery down there.
Hmm.
I wanted to get displayed by them because they like pull huge
Oh
crowds,
yeah.
and I was like, I really want to get displayed by them, and it was $400 a year
Wow.
membership, and I
Wow.
just can't afford that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm also not consistent enough. Like that's the thing is like,
Oh yeah.
trying to find people to model for you is very difficult.
Oh, I can imagine. And I mean, like even just talking about galleries and stuff, I know how difficult it is for artists in terms of, painting, photographers, showing your work, making your work, framing your work. It's a lot. It's a lot of work. People don't realize what it is to be an artist. They think it's not working. But if you choose to be an artist and make it your living, you're probably going to be working harder and more than you ever would in some sort of corporate office setting.
Yes.
It's like 24/7 nonstop. You don't sleep, you don't eat. So
And you struggle.
yeah.
Like the struggling artist whole like thing is like a very serious, like
Hmm.
it's a real thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It can be lifelong.
Yeah.
Right.
And like I also see it with like you said you like to read Bukowski. Bukowski was a lifelong alcoholic. He had made no attempt to reform himself. And before he took off as an author, he was just a penniless drunk. Like
Yeah.
he wasn't, you know.
Yeah. As I'm sure a lot of artists are
Yeah.
or have been at one point or another. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, do you know who Gary Wilson is? Oh, dude, Gary Wilson is a legend around here. So he grew up in Endicott,
Okay.
and he takes a lot of pride in being from Endicott.
Okay.
Like one of his albums is called Electric Endicott,
Okay.
and he has songs like "I'm Dreaming of Endicott."
Really?
And
Never heard of it.
oh, you got to check him out. He made an album called the story. The legend of Gary Wilson is he was living in this area, and he made an album called "You Think You Really Know Me." One of the band members was Jim Roma from Roma's Bakery.
Uh-huh.
He was one of the band members.
Okay.
And he released this album and then he just disappeared. Like no one knew where he was. And in 2001, this record executive was at a thrift store and he found the vinyl and he buys it and he goes home and he plays it and he's like, holy shit, this is like fantastic. And he's like, I gotta find this guy. And that was the only thing he had released for 30 years was just this one album. And he finds him in San Diego working in a porn shop. And he just worked in a jazz band during the night times. And he started making all this music, and all of his music is like very much like about his love for Endicott and how he loves the Southern Tier.
Wow.
I would love to get him on this show.
Yeah.
But if you haven't heard of Gary Wilson,
I'll look him up. I gotta hear
he's
the
a
music.
character.
I gotta hear it now.
Yeah, he's such an interesting guy. And I would love to talk to him. But one of the legends of Gary Wilson is he had a pet duck, and he used to walk up and down Washington Ave with his pet duck,
Okay.
and just right down the street here.
That's weird.
Yeah, he's a local
Somebody
legend.
in high school with a pet duck. I don't know. I forget his name. I don't think it was Gary Wilson though.
Gary Wilson is check out his music if you
I
haven't.
will.
It's awesome. He lives in San Diego now. Yeah, I love
Well,
the
he's
talk.
lucky.
Yeah, he missed these cold winters.
Right.
Yeah, this winter hasn't been too bad.
Not till now. So it's pretty bad now. It's cold as hell. But we typically don't have to run space heaters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping
Under
February.
20. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll warm up in like a couple weeks, I'm sure. But right now it's bad.
Yeah, usually late February is when it starts warming up.
Yeah. If we're lucky.
Yeah. All right. Well, I got one last question for you.
Okay.
And this is the ultimate question. Got to ask everybody.
Okay.
Best place for Speedies?
Well, I'm I'm an Endicott guy, so Lupo's on Main Street. They're still my favorite Speedies.
Mm.
Yeah.
They still do lamb too, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Just to God, I don't know if they still do lamb. Maybe I forget. I mean, they do lamb Speedies at the St. Anthony feast days. You want a lamb Speedy,
Yep.
That's where you'll get it. I don't know if you get it at Lupo's anymore, but I have to check it out.
All right. That was Joe, EPAC Executive Director. Thanks for coming on the show. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
All right. Have a great day, guys.